Dissertation Presentation, Trackpad versus Mouse, Elementary School Students with Developmental Delays. By Jean E. Stork, Doctor of Science in Instructional Design and Technology.
Hello, Jean Stork here again. Here is the PowerPoint of my doctoral dissertation. I will be skipping over some of the slides very briefly, such as the table of contents, to avoid an hour-long video. Most of the slides will be summarized and not read verbatim. There are links to the PowerPoint and the PDF in the notes below this video. You can read the pages that I skip over or go through too quickly on your own. My dissertation video project began with a video in which I demonstrated some of the software that can be used to teach students with severe developmental delays how to use the computer. The third video in the series will not be directly related to teaching computer skills, but this is the touch generation. I created a short video demonstrating some of the software that helped my students with severe disabilities learn to use the iPad's touch surface. Links to both of these videos are also located in my comments below this video. So this is number 2 of a set of 3. Thank you.
Learning speeds for mouse and trackpad in elementary school students with developmental delays. Summary presentation, Jean E. Stork, March 28, 2019. This table of contents is invalid because I rearranged the order for this presentation. The purpose of this study was basically to compare whether students in elementary school with developmental delays would learn the mouse or the trackpad more easily. I read a large number of articles in preparation for my study. The most interesting thing was that everybody seemed to agree that the computer was an important educational tool in today's modern world. But I saw no studies directly comparing mouse versus trackpad with elementary school students who had developmental delays. Students in elementary school with moderate to severe developmental delays who have not yet learned to use the computer will demonstrate no statistically significant difference in the speed at which they learn to control the computer using the mouse versus using the trackpad. The study took place throughout the 2018 to 2019 school year. 30 students participated in this study, with 15 students learning to control the mouse and 15 students learning to control the trackpad. The students all had moderate to severe developmental delays, were ages 5 through 10, could not effectively control the computer's mouse, and had no severe aggression or work avoidance behaviors. The setting was a specialized computer lab in a specialized public school. Students received 30 minutes of intensive direct instruction per week. There are iMac computers, and the chairs and tables were various heights to accommodate various students. All of the mice had only the left click functioning, and the trackpad was large with visual contrast against the tables. The software was Classroom Suite, most recently from AbleNet, and the website helpkidslearn.com. Here are pictures of the mouse with the right click disabled. I actually taped down the paper because the kids keep pulling the paper out, but once it's taped down, it doesn't show well in the photo. This is called a quasi-experimental design because I had to adjust the randomization to make sure that there were 3 kids of each age in both the Trackpad group and the mouse group. The rubric that I developed allowed me to assess the students in a pre-test and post-test fashion, and then determine improvement and independent skills and groups of skills, and overall improvement. When the improvement data for every skill in the rubric was combined, the Trackpad group improved slightly more than the mouse group. But the slight edge of the Trackpad students was not statistically significant. When the 4 fine motor skills were combined, the Trackpad group did improve statistically more than the mouse group. The 4 fine motor skills were press and release, press and hold, move the cursor with the trackpad or the mouse, press, move, release. When improvement for the 4 cognitive skills was analyzed, there was no statistically significant difference between the mouse group and the trackpad group. The 4 cognitive skills the dissertation looked at were press at the appropriate times, move the cursor to the desired object, click on the desired object, drag object to desired location. The most improvement was in 7-year-old students. The second highest was 5-year-old students, and this was the only cohort where there was more improvement in one device than in the other. In this case, the trackpad group improved statistically more than the mouse group. The third highest improvement was a tie between 6 and 8-year-olds. The fifth highest improvement was 9-year-olds. And the sixth highest improvement was 10-year-olds. This current study supports the hypothesis that students in elementary school with moderate to severe developmental delays who have not yet learned to use the computer will demonstrate no statistically significant difference in the speed at which they learn to control the computer using the mouse versus using the trackpad. Overall improvement when both fine motor and cognitive skills were considered. There was no statistical difference, even though the fine motor skills had been higher in the trackpad group. 5-year-old students were the only cohort with a statistical difference, with trackpad users improving more than mouse users. The data collected and the analysis are valid as a school-based action study with an imperfect design. There was enough data collected to test the hypothesis and to compare results. The t-tests that were used were specifically designed for small sample sizes. Along with the data that assessed the hypothesis, I also looked at behavior assessments and teacher and student attitudes. Neither the trackpad group nor the mouse group showed any significant improvement in behavior. 2 of the students who could answer the survey preferred the mouse, and 2 of the students who could answer the survey preferred the trackpad. I used picture symbols to help the students understand the questions and their answers. The staff were also fairly evenly divided between preferring the mouse or preferring the trackpad, but the clear majority of staff members thought it was important for the students to learn both. As mentioned earlier, neither the trackpad group nor the mouse group demonstrated any statistically significant difference in the improvement speed in which the students learned the devices. The 5-year-old Trackpad group improved statistically more than the 5-year-old mouse group. And the Trackpad group demonstrated significantly greater improvement in fine motor skills over the mouse group, with the most improvement being in press and release and press and hold skills. Thank you to the faculty and staff of Blue Marble University, in particular Jermaine Wilson and Dr. Walter Drake. Thank you also to my friends and my family, and a special thank you to my partner, Carl Schwartz. There are too many references for me to read everything, so they are in the notes below. Thank you, all of my viewers, for joining me on this journey.